Peace to the guys and goddesses, peace, be the positive energy, creating elevation. What's up, y'all? I know I have abandoned y'all for 4 months, but in them 4 months we was doing some healing, okay? But now we are back, and I also brought a special guest with me as well. This is somebody who I met this summer, and so we're gonna get a little, deep dive on who she is and everything like that. So, hey, Miss Shantel.
Hi.
Yes, thank
Ooh.
you for joining.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited too. Like, this is your first podcast interview, and it's on my page. I really am so like honored. I really
I
am.
hope you know this is going down in history in the Shanty book.
Period. Because this is going down in history for me. You're my first guest. Yes. Welcome to Talks with Lee. This is episode 2. So we're just gonna jump right into it. You
Let's do
cool
it.
with that? All right, cool. So, I met you through TikTok this summer, but let's get a little deeper. Who is Shantel before, all of this social media things?
I feel like most people know me as Shanty, but of course, as you mentioned, my name is Shantel. Shanty outside of the TikTok media space is someone that's just very determined and driven. I work in finance and I'm a business analyst, so a lot of my days are spent working, but besides that, I am someone that loves going to the gym, loves spending time with friends and just like chit-chatting. And I also have been just enjoying like my time alone. So I will be in my own world dancing or doing something.
Yeah.
And that's a bit of who I am, like on a big spectrum.
Okay. Okay, cool. So, um how was it like growing up for you as a child? Like, what was your upbringing about?
So I am the oldest of I don't know if it's 8 or 9. My dad keeps having kids, so no shade, but
It's like
yeah, I'm
that.
the oldest out of 8 or 9 kids. My mom has two, well, three total, so I'm the oldest out of her kids, and I have two younger siblings, and I was fully raised by her. She was a single mom, so I really was able to witness firsthand like what a strong woman looked like and acts like. And a lot of my childhood was very I feel like I didn't notice how much we struggled then because my mom painted like such a great picture and made it seem like we were above the rest. But, I grew up in government housing, Section 8, food stamps, and my mom receiving government assistance. And it really allowed me to get a humble look of life and reminding myself of where I came from. And when I was really young, I knew I wanted to do more. Like I wanted to give myself a better life, but I also wanted to give my queen, my mom, a better life.
Period.
And my dad, he is from Dominican Republic, but at the time he used to be like a baseball coach that would work with like the MLB or whatever. I don't know anything about baseball. So he actually had money then. But
Mhm.
a lot of messy stuff happened and I didn't really grow up with my dad. So a lot of my life was me not knowing what it felt like to have a dad, if I'm being honest. But in
Mhm.
general, my mom really like stepped in and like was my mom and my dad. So that's a little bit of my upbringing.
Yes. Okay. So, like, I know you said you were like the oldest. I'm the oldest too. So I don't know for you if it's the same, but like you kind of have to like grow up fat quicker and faster. But although yeah, we were outside like kids, but at the same time we had to grow mentally, emotionally, and physically like a lot faster because we are the oldest. How did that affect you as a child and like even today, like as the version that you are now?
So I'll give you some pros and some cons. I'll start with the negative so we can end on a high note. But I think the cons were I didn't really get to enjoy my childhood as my siblings did and other people did. I can remember like watching movies and me being very hyper aware of like, did my brother eat? Did my sister eat? And just like wanting to make sure everyone in the house was okay when I should have been just watching a Disney Channel show. And that caused me to be very hyper aware from a young age. And it really just spiked my anxiety at a young age. I didn't have a choice but to worry because it was almost like what my mom brought onto me. My mom, again, like I mentioned, was a single mom, so she didn't have help. So as soon as I was alert enough to understand, she gave me the responsibility of taking care of my siblings, and I think it put too much pressure on me. I feel like I became a perfectionist at like a young age, and I also wanted everything to be right, which now I know in adult life is impossible.
Yeah.
I would say that's like a huge con of it. And then I would say the pro is I was always very driven. Like even in fifth grade, I'm like, I can't wait to have a job. I can't wait to have a car. Like, believe it or not, I envisioned everything for myself. So having to be a older sibling or a parent figure to my siblings really allowed me to step into like who Chantel is. Like overall, I'm a motherly person by nature, but it
Yeah.
allowed me to use that as a superpower when I felt like at times I didn't have a choice.
Hmm. Oh my goodness. I just love you. Okay.
I love you.
Yeah, I had to say that just because like you're really like inspiring girl and just hearing you and just we're gonna get all into it. Okay, okay,
Okay.
okay, okay. Let's move it on.
Don't
Okay,
make me blush yet.
let's talk about this summer. Let's take it back to the beginning of the summer. So I came across you through Love Island, okay? And as we know, this summer of Love Island was absolutely crazy, right? But before Love Island, like before you really started to get into your content and everything, like take me through this summer. Like how was it for you this summer, like mentally in all aspects really because I know this was a summer of growth for sure, right?
That's like the perfect word, lyric growth. When I started my TikTok this summer, I had already been posting, but I was never consistent with it. So,
Mhm.
most people know that I had a really rough like beginning of the year, and one day I'll open up about my testimony, what happened, but like from January to May, I felt like I was living life in a scary movie and I needed an escape. Like I knew that I had gone through so much traumatic like stuff, but I'm someone that I can't let those things define my character. And like, I wanted to laugh again. I wanted to smile again and look cute. So I was actually in May, going through like a layoff situation where I had just gotten laid off from my previous employer, was waiting to start a new job in June, and really had so much time on my hands. So I remember being like, okay, I'm gonna start just posting on TikTok. I want to like really get good at editing and have fun and find community. So I already knew that in May I wanted to start posting, and that's when Love Island, I know, dropped the cast. And I was like, I'm gonna watch it. Like last year, I didn't really watch it live with people. So this year, I'm gonna watch it every night and I'm gonna just record my reaction because I'm watching it alone and I wanna talk. I
Mhm.
wanna yap.
Yep.
So I remember in June when it started, I was like, I'm gonna just record like the screen, and in the background I'll say whatever I'm thinking because my intrusive thoughts always win. And I started noticing people were liking that. Like they were laughing at my commentary. They obviously wanted to see the reruns. I became super obsessed with Shalace, as
Locked
you, my sister, know.
in. Yes, since day one, by the way.
Yeah, and I knew through the whole Love Island thing that things were getting, of course, messy and just so problematic. But I got that sense of happiness back because I was giggling and laughing, and also was able to see Shelly and Ace in such a great light. And I found other people that were also agreeing with me. So it kind of healed a part of me that was like hurt at all the trauma I went through and like people misunderstanding me in my life. And then, of course, watching it on a screen, you don't feel that attached to it, but I felt like that was my family in there. I'm like, get my
No,
people
for
out that
real.
villa.
For real, I said that. I'm like, no. I'm like, bro, no. We started this with them, and we're gonna finish this with
Oh
them.
yeah. And it was like every day I'd be like, I hope they're okay because it was just a lot.
Uh-huh.
But in general, I remember that was in June. I started a new job, so that week was so intense. I was like, dang, I gotta do reruns. I gotta clock into a job. I gotta go to the gym. So I started building up a routine where I was like, I still want to post this much on TikTok, but I want it to be intentional and I want it to be good. So
Yeah.
I would get my planner out, I would write my ideas, and in July, that's when I was like, I'm gonna start saying I'm the president of the program and I'm the president of the stand club, and let's get everyone a vote because it was rough for us. And I knew I could make it very goofy and fun because things were just getting so dark that I wanted to bring light to like, hey, these are good people, we're gonna be good.
Yeah.
And I remember, I don't know if was it July or August when like you
I
recognize.
think it was I think it was like the middle end of July, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. Yeah.
That's what that was like that memory will always stick in my mind because I really thought you were trolling when I jumped on your live and you were like, Shanty? I was like, I was like, that would be rude if
Not
she's
trolling.
joking.
I wasn't.
Which I know now, but I remember being like, she's so beautiful. What a slay. And one thing I want to mention is a lot of people don't know this, but I didn't consume that much content during my
Hmm.
like when I was posting and like when I was doing my reruns. I don't like doing it because I get inspired by people and I don't want to copy your bit. Like I
Yeah.
need your blueprint to stay your blueprint. So I knew because I had so many good ideas, I didn't want to either try to match someone else's or like die down my ideas to not
Yeah.
like wild. So I then started like stumbling on your videos talking about chalets and like your makeup videos, which I'm in love with. I feel like I've shown every person I know, like you.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
like, look at this. But when you recognized me, I was like, oh, okay, that was sweet. And then I feel like you opened the floodgates. Like that week, people, other content creators were like, yeah, Shanty, Shanty. And I'm like, who is Shanty? And I'm like, wait, that's you. Like people started recognizing me and like I would jump into comments and people would be like, no way. And I'm like, what is going on? So I noticed that like my TikTok videos were having an impact. Of course, they were getting likes, some of them were going viral, but for people to associate the content with me just felt very special and like it really validated like all the hard work I put through the summer was worth it. And in August, once Shalais was back out of the villa, we really were able to build like a community where a lot of us are becoming friends, we're having conversations, we truly care about each other and we're there for each other. So this whole summer was such a turnaround and like that always brings me back to like my cherry tattoo of like this is the cherry on top. Like this is
Yes.
what we needed.
Oh my gosh, I love that you say that because I was literally just gonna ask you about your cherry tattoo. It
Yeah.
was the meaning of it. Like, oh my gosh. But I also do want to say, like, as a viewer of somebody who came across you, and
Yeah.
I don't know, I could probably speak for a lot of people as well, but I'm gonna speak for myself. But I just know, like, I felt your energy, like it was just very radiating. It was very light, and I tell you this all the time, but
I
I
know you
really
do.
need. I'll continue to keep saying it until I turn blue. But like your energy is so light and it's just so it gives happiness, it gives joy, like, and then like your content and then everything is always different, and then the things that you say, it be what I be thinking all the time.
You're
So
my sis.
I just be like, oh my gosh. And then what I love about like the Chalais community that was built, and I feel like it kind of got brought together once you did um
Oh, the
the
live.
Chile beach live thing.
Yes.
Yes, and that's when it kind of like all was coming together and stuff. And like I just remember, like I was like, oh my gosh, Shanty just asked me. She just invited me to be on her panel for her live, and I
Yes,
was
that
like,
was my first live. Let me mention that. Like, I had never done a live, and I knew I could do a live and like yap, but I wanted to bring like your like everyone's favorite creators into one space. But again, because I didn't consume that much, I knew about you. I had just found Beat Camille. I brought
yes,
Tutu on, and I was like, hey, let's go crazy and do a Chalet like beach theme live where we put our bathing suits on, we talk about our favorite Shelly and Ace moments, and we get to know each other. Like, and
yes.
that live was so fun.
It was, and we got Dive on there. Oh my god, I was
Yes.
fangirling so bad because it was like my first time talking to you, talking to B Camille, talking to Dive, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, what these are the people who I was watching throughout the summer that was calming my nerves down. Like
Yeah.
and
It felt
to
good to
yeah,
like
and
bring
then
everyone together, especially content creators. Like that's hard for us to do. I feel like this is such a competitive space that I'm like, no, bring your baddest.
yes.
Bring your
Yes.
best content creator.
And now we all locking in, and I love that. It's very beautiful to see, and I feel like you are a big part of that. Like you, B Camille, and Dime for sure, like a big part of just the inspiration for me in general. Like you brought back the creativity for me and just me wanting to get on my podcast, and I knew I wanted you on here too. Like first I was just like, thank you, Shanty, I have to give you your
Aw, I love you. I see you in like
I
such a
love
like big
you.
light and you're gonna go so far. But I think the good thing about me that I can give my flowers this is like I can say that to you and it doesn't hit my ego. And I always want to mention that like finding you, finding B Camille, Tammy, Dime, like
Himmy,
seeing you,
yes.
yes, you guys doing your content sparks me to be myself because it's not easy what we do. You're putting yourself on a platform to get scrutinized and judged. But the fact that it feels like I have like online friends that get me, like We understand what's
We'll
happening.
meet in person. Yes.
But yeah, and thank you. You always give me my flowers, girl. Like I have a whole garden at this point because of you.
Yeah, I have to because what like pop man, what it look, I'm not gonna ever stop either,
I
okay?
know, and I love that.
So I have to bring up, even though the pot, I have to bring up the negative that occurred this summer alone
Yeah.
towards you,
Yeah.
like just from yeah. Touch a little bit on that, on how like that made you feel, and just like things that you learned after everything occurred, and things that you were thinking in that time, like what caused you to be reactive if you were reactive, or what caused you just to be like, okay, you know what, I can't keep doing this and I need to make sure my piece is okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I did feel very protective over many individuals this summer, including myself. So I was opening the floodgates to negativity because I am someone that says it so straight up and doesn't sugarcoat it. And the good thing about me is I don't care. Like if you do have hate that you're gonna send, I'm gonna set up a whole location where you could put it. So, of course, covering Love Island and like just sharing my opinion this summer really brought in a lot of like hate towards me. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that part I was able to be okay with because I am so strong in who I am and I've built this confidence of like, Shanty, you are that girl. Like other people have projected their thoughts on you and what they think of you, but like if you leave me in a room alone, I really think I'm Beyonce. Like I'm not I might be her cousin. So I think seeing comments and like people commenting about my weight, my teeth, my hair, whatever it may be, it just reminded me of like how dark the world is and like how everyone's projecting. Like it's so easy for you to go in the comment section and like comment about me, but overall, you can never put yourself on camera and do what I do. So I'm not gonna take what you said personal. And same with like all the hate Ace and Shelly got and like, the other creators. Like I get more defensive watching other people get attacked because I've been there before. I've been bullied, so I feel like I've built like a really strong armor, and I'm sure other people have too, but I don't sit well with like people getting mistreated. So if I
Yeah.
can defend you, I'm like, Lyric, stand behind me. I got this. So I felt like I did a lot of that. And like one thing I did want to bring up is in August, I was having like beef with content creators and I didn't even know. Like I started it as a joke and like a people are hitting my nachos, this, that. And I noticed that people thrive off drama. Like that's when I started gaining a lot of followers, comments, DMs, like, and I was like, wait, I don't live for the drama. Like I like being funny and I'll, throw little subliminals, but when I log off, I'm eating chips and sugar cookies. Y'all know the sugar cookies.
Hello.
So once people started misunderstanding me and like thinking that I was like being spiteful or calculated, I go, oh, no, 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 we need to take a step back. And if I'm being honest, like being a content creator, it causes people to copy your ideas, try to copy your
Mm-hmm.
flow. And that in August is something I had to like stomach and just let it go. Like I started watching people copy like literally full blown skits and ideas I had and acting like they made it up. And I'm like, are you being for real? But again, I let it go and like I know whatever's for me, God will not let pass. So, to answer your question, I think it really just allowed me to like become stronger and like my purpose of doing content creation,
Mm-hmm.
but also reminded me of how strong I am within that. Like those comments don't impact me. Like people were sending me screenshots of my arms. I'm like, damn, I do need to go to the gym. Anyways, like, okay.
And all the hate toward, it's just because they're insecure themselves, like, and like you said, it's because you're doing something that they can't do, so the easiest
Yes.
thing for them to do is to hate. So I
Yeah.
just like I said, girl, you're doing your big one, like I don't
Yeah.
care, and I'm excited for what's next.
Thank
Like
you.
I'm really really excited. So when did you or how did you find that courage to inside of yourself? Like when did you like when growing up Shanty was like, "Oh my gosh, like I'm really that girl." Like what was that moment in your life, even if it was traumatic or not, that just really like flipped that switch in your mind?
I would say there's two moments when I was really young. My mom always saw like a star potential in me. Like
Yeah.
she always, whether it was grades or like me talking or being funny, like my mom would egg it on. And she would tell me things like, "Oh, you're gonna be on Disney Channel, you're gonna be a model, you're gonna be on TV." And I feel like having a mother that believed in me so much, no matter how much trauma I did experience in my household with her, she also was like my biggest fan. So
Yeah.
that helped me be like, why am I getting bullied? My mom loves me at school, and now I know that's exactly why I was getting bullied. And
Yeah.
for the second side of it, I would watch like those shows, like Disney Channel was my favorite channel. Like Raven, Simone, and me are like, I think that's like my soul sister. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Y'all
like,
have that same energy. I just watched Cheetah Girls too.
and I'm
Like,
telling you, like that's where in the show when she would dress up and make the faces. If y'all catch how I am, it's because a lot of my time I would spend it watching her and like seeing that she could be expressive, but also be very real and like emotional and like have relationships and her bestie, but also be like, no, I don't want, like people don't understand me. So I feel like her and like even Hannah Montana, like, no, I don't put a wig on, but like I'm a business analyst and like I literally feel like when I get off, I turn into a content creator that can talk into the camera. Like, which one are you? So I feel like
yeah.
that allowed me to like dream big. And I keep trying to strive away from content creation and like wanting to be in the entertainment business, but I feel like God is like, this is your realm. Like I need you to be a light out there and do the right thing. So I
Mhm.
think now I'm like, I don't have a choice. I feel like people love me. I love them, and I truly have a passion for this.
Yes, I love it. And I love to see it all the time.
I
My
know.
favorite is the
I like this. I
yeah.
do it. We did it, Joe. And that's the thing about me that like a lot of people don't know my lore, but like I've done a lot of moments like that in public. Like when I won homecoming queen, I did a whole like skit and I was in the halls doing the most and like people get embarrassed and so do I, but I noticed that like I get so powerful when I'm embarrassed because if I'm already at the bottom and you just saw me at like the lamest, funniest, quirkiest thing, that's all you got on me. Like we're good. So I love doing stuff like that and making people laugh. Like
Yes.
it brings so much joy to me.
I love that. I love that. So this summer alone was pretty difficult for you, and I'm not talking about just Love Island. You care to like break down a little bit of what you were going through this summer?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So the during
in
this
all aspects too. Okay, so like mentally, physically, yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay, well this summer, like aside from the social media, I was struggling a lot with like all the trauma and drama that I had in real life. The beginning of the year started really rough. I almost lost my mom to unaliving,
Mhm.
and that was literally 7 days into the year. So it really set the tone of like a lot of what I had to handle, and I had to be like her caregiver, handle like, her finances, medical stuff, and I felt like a lot of pressure was on me, and that was in January. And then in February, I get laid off from my job from after 6 years for no reason. In March, I find out I'm unexpectedly pregnant.
Mhm.
So I'm like, whoa, what is going on? Things are changing rapidly. And in April, I ended up like going to Dominican Republic to get taken care of because like the pregnancy was so bad, and I ended up having a miscarriage. So
Yeah.
it was like just back to back stuff. And like after the miscarriage happened, I felt very much like I had to learn lessons through all those hard moments. So I'm like, okay, when I get back home, I'm gonna start working on my dreams. I'm gonna do things for me. And then I had to have like gallbladder surgery. So that was another setback that in May, I literally landed in like Florida and had to go straight to the hospital get surgery. And that was another recovery like moment. So by the time it's like this summer, again, internally I'm feeling defeated and broken and like I'm on my last like lap. But I knew like the Shantel my mom made me to be is like you can get through any storm. Like you can't let it like defy you, and you also can't let it like change your character. I feel like during those times I really got to know a lot of people that I loved that weren't really there for me and like they weren't supporting me how I needed it. And I would we've talked about this, but I would put them on a pedestal and I would think, they don't mean to hurt me. They want the best for me. And like that simply wasn't the truth. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't. And this summer I had to sit in a lot of like uncomfortable moments alone, being like, damn, that person really hurt you.
Yeah, sometimes God put, and it's crazy because God puts us in these situations when we're so stubborn all the time. We're like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna wait for me. I'm gonna wait for me. I gotta handle this first. So I'm gonna wait for me.
Yes.
So God puts us in these situations to where it's like you have no choice but to sit and be there and sit with me type like that.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it
Oh
felt very like I think when you have like a life traumatic thing, also when
yeah.
it's like health wise, I felt so many times that I was gonna lose my life. Like I was like in the hospital doing the DNC being like, this is my last day, God, isn't it? And like
Yeah.
it wasn't. And like same with like when we had to do the gallstone surgery, I remember the nurses being like, you're so beautiful. Like, why are you in here? And it's like, I don't know. So I think it's moments like that that like this summer were like tugging at me that I like wanted to be in a slump and I was like, I want to give up. I'm so tired. Like, I can't believe that all happened. But then the other side of me was like, you went through that for a reason. Like, you are not the only person that's going to go through it. So you have to share your story. You have to be there for others that are going to go through it. And like, the funniest thing, like, side note, but like, my mom called me this week and was like, hey, your aunt just had gallbladder surgery. So it's so crazy that like, how life is working. Where like now I
Yeah.
can call her up and be like, oh, use this cream, do this. And again, it was like really tough moments that like I was at my lowest, but this summer I had to really internalize it. I journaled, I got a therapist, I started hanging out with friends and just like going back to being Shantel. That's another thing. I felt like for years I had to like be a version of myself that people wanted to like for them to accept me.
Yeah.
And then when things got rough, they left anyways, or like they started acting weird anyway. So I'm like, oh, we can all stop the facade then. I could just be
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
So between that and also like I have ulcerative colitis, so that's like a gastro issue. I flare up a lot. A lot of days I'm in pain, I'm nauseous, I can't get out of bed. I still have like real life things that I have to deal with, and I think every day like I'm still trying to find my way out or like find a way to smile through the pain, if that makes sense.
And I feel like, in a sense, like you're really like doing it. Like you're the
Mm.
things you've gone through, like this summer. All it did was just add on to your armor, like
Yeah.
of like strength, of like the superwoman. You know what I'm saying? In
Yeah.
all aspects, and it's allowed you to be able to dust off things that aren't serving you to your best. Like it doesn't have your
At
best
all.
interest at all. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Or it's
Yes.
not gonna benefit you in no positive way. So
Yeah.
I really feel like that was like every time you tell me this story, like this is not my first time hearing it, but I get like so like my eyes be watering and
Yeah.
stuff because it's like, dang, that is so crazy. Because and this is just you touching on it on like the surface level. So
Yes.
so like, but
Yeah.
it touches me and it just be like, dang, like you really are strong. And then it makes me look at my life and be like, dang, like I could keep going. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah.
just like that extra, like
Yeah.
extra inspiration. And I just love that. And I
Oh,
love you,
thank you.
girl. You're
That's
strong. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. That's the whole point of this. I think a big word that stuck out to me is that you can pivot at any moment. So no matter how hard things get, like that Chantel knew that. Like, okay,
Mhm.
let me just get through this. And like one of my favorite quotes is everything is temporary. So good and bad, that is a moment. You can't
Yeah.
continue to let it defy you. And like even now, like I'll watch videos of people talking about how far along they are with their pregnancy and all that. And like a part of me still feels some type of way. I'm okay that I'm not pregnant and like God chose a different plan, but I can admit that. Like, and I
Yeah.
think me being so transparent and honest is like such a good thing because it allows me to like remove the pain versus holding it in. I think a lot of us are holding into pain, like holding on to pain that we don't need to hold on to. And like someone brought up this analogy that I loved, but they were like, imagine going into like an airport with like old luggage, like 10,000 bags of old luggage, and you would hate that. Like you would not
Yeah.
be able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I completely understand. Dang, that is just that gets me. And I feel like you kind of create like that like safe space too because you're so transparent, you're so honest. So you like create that safe space without even probably realizing it to where like people can be so open and
Yeah.
honest. And I feel like we get to see that as well like when you do go live and you bring us up onto your live
Yeah.
and we're all just random people, but not
From
random because
everywhere.
we're yeah, and
Yeah.
we like talk to each other like it's just like I don't know, like with no judgment, and it's because of what you created on your platform. Like you don't allow none of that negative shit.
No. And
And
let's be real. Yeah, we gotta be honest too. I'm like, no, no lying on here. Like,
hello, okay.
yeah.
So I do want to know. So who is someone like that you had looked up to as an individual growing up and now, or just now?
I think now a person I really look up to is Michelle Obama.
Mm.
Like
My friend too.
I stand Michelle Obama. Like I need to get in my reading bag, but seeing what type of woman she is and how she carries herself and also knowing like people think she's just a first lady and like talks about like lettuce and health. Like no, she got a whole personality and I think the way that she supports Barack but doesn't allow it to just define her is so iconic and just the way that like she has two daughters and like doesn't take any BS and just has been through so much is so inspiring to me. So I just love the first lady. That's my first lady forever.
Period. Period.
Yeah.
Last question that I have for you
Yeah.
is your future goals that you have for yourself. What are some upcoming things Shanty has coming up?
So I have a lot of goals, but a huge one I would say is doing like content creation full time so I can like be as creative as I can be. Of course, I work a full-time job, so I'm limited with time, but like if this is my full job, I'll give it my all. And I want
Mm-hmm.
people to resonate and feel like they know me and like feel like I'm their big sister. So I think a huge goal is that. And then I think the second would be to make an impact in my community. Like overall, whether that's on TV or on on your TikTok screen, YouTube, like I want people to talk about Shantel, not because I want to be the popular girl, but I want it to open opportunities for what I will do once
Yeah.
I get the money and the brandships and the sponsorships and like I have big dreams of like doing like toy drives and going to hospitals and reading to kids and like helping families that are struggling. So a lot of this, like I'm getting chills, but like a lot of this is above me. Like I wish I could say, yeah, I'm just gonna get an LV bag and that's it. I am gonna get
Yeah.
that. But it's
It's
to do
deeper
like
than that
yeah,
though.
deeper
Yeah.
and it means so much more. And like I want to help so many people. And like I always go back to like I also want to help my mom. So
Hmm.
if I can have my mom's like dreams live out that like she sees her daughter succeed and like I can give her the life she deserves, that's a huge goal for me.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Shanty, for joining in on Talks with Lyric, episode 2. It is so nice to have you, and I was so grateful for you to be on my podcast this
Dude.
week. Guys, tune in next week for episode 3 of Talks with LiLi. Um, I am really, really so grateful, and I love you so much, Shanty. Thank you again. Like,
Thank you
thank you.
for having you'll have to have me back.
Oh yes, for sure. We definitely gonna have to bring you back for sure.
Alrighty, I love
And
you.
some vlogs. I wouldn't even mind, you know.
Yes, no, we gotta meet. We gotta meet. The people deserve that.
Okay, okay, yes.
All right,
I
I
love
love
you.
you.
I leave as I come, y'all. Peace to the gods and goddesses. Peace, meaning positive energy, creating elevation.
Bye.